Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. If you are new to our channel, please click the subscribe button and also click the bell icon. You can get notified whenever we post any updates. Today we are going to say about Java basics. So before we get into a Java programming language, let's see what we mean by a programming language. A programming language is a formal language comprising a set of instructions that produce various kinds of output. So normally a programming language means it has some set of instructions which a machine can understand, so that a machine will perform some operations based on those instructions and it produces some outputs. This is the usage of a programming language. So this programming language has some set of instructions to implement some algorithms also. So every year there are number of programming languages are implemented, but few languages are becoming very popular, which may be used by professional programmers in their careers. So some of the programming languages are C, C++, C Sharps, Python, Java, and the list goes on. So now we are going to see about Java programming language. So a Java language. The Java language is a multi-platform language and it is particularly helpful in networking. Mostly this Java language is used on web with the Java applets. So the Java applets are some built-in functions the Java language provides, and however this language is used to design some cross-platform programs. Okay. And this Java language is similar to the previous language, which is C++, in structure and syntax. So for C++ programmers, Java language is very easy to learn and it offers some advantage provided by the OOPS concept. As we also know, Java is a programming language and it is a platform. A platform means any hardware or software environment in which a program runs is known as platform. So Java is a high level, robust, secured and an object oriented programming language. History of Java. So initially the Java was designed for a interactive television. Okay. So the team which developed Java was James Gosling, Mike Sheridan, Patrick Norton. Initialized the Java language project in June 1991. So this small team of Sun Microsystems were called by Green Team. So this in June 1991 they have formed this group to initiate the Java language project. Initially this design is for a small embedded system in electronic appliances like set-top boxes. So Java was originally designed for an interactive television, but it was too advanced for a digital cable television industry at that time. So before we calling it as a Java, it was named as Green Talk by the father of Java, who is James Gosling. Okay. Firstly, it was called Green Talk, and the file extension was .gt. After that, it was called Awk and was developed as a part of the Green project. But why they named Java as Awk? So Awk is a symbol of strength and chosen as a national tree for many countries like the USA, France, Germany, Romania, etc. But in 1995, Awk was renamed as Java because it was already registered by a company which is named as Awk Technologies. So the James Gosling and his team changed the Awk name to Java. But why they have chosen Java name? The team gathered to choose a new name. So they have suggested more names like Dynamic, Revolutionary, Silk, Jolt, DNA, and some more. But they want something that reflects the essence of the technology, like revolutionary, dynamic, lively, cool, and it has to be unique. So they pick two things. One is Java and Silk. Since Java was so unique, most of the team members preferred Java than the other names. So that's how the Java language is named. Initially this Java was developed by Sun Microsystem, but right now it is a subsidiary of Oracle Corporations. So JDK 1.0, which is the first version of Java, is released in January 23, 1996. After the first release of Java, there have been many additional features added to the language. Now Java is being used in many applications. Each new version adds the new features in Java. So the latest version and the current stable release of Java is Java SE 10, and the Java SE 11 is currently open for bug fixing. So these are the history and the Java versions. The next thing is Java applications. According to the Sun Microsystems, 3 billion devices runs Java programming. There are many devices where Java is currently used. Some of them are desktop applications. So the desktop applications we use like media player, antivirus softwares, and Acrobat Reader. So these are developed using Java languages. And web applications like IRTC, IRCTC, and many more are developed using Java languages. Then enterprise applications like banking applications like SBI, Access, these are developed using Java languages. And mobile applications, even embedded systems and smart cards and robotics, games, these are developed using the Java languages. features of Java. So the primary objective of Java programming language creation was to make it portable, simple and secure programming language. So these are the primary objective of the Java programming language. Apart from this, there are some also excellent features which play an important role in the popularity of this language. So these are the some of the features of Java: object oriented, simple, secured, platform independent, robust, portable, architectural neutral, dynamic, interpreted, high performance, multi-threaded, distributed. So let's see one by one. Simple. So Java is very easy to learn and its syntax is simple and the coding is so clean and easy to understand. According to Sun Microsystems, Java language is a simple programming language because its syntax is similar to the C++ syntax. So it is easier for programmers to learn it after C++. And Java has removed many complicated and rarely used features. For example, C++ has pointers, Java doesn't has pointers, and C++ has operated overloading functions, Java doesn't has those things. So it has removed complicated and rarely used features, and there is no need to remove unreferenced objects because there is a automatic garbage collection in Java. So this is as features of Java. And the next thing is object oriented. So Java is a object oriented programming language. Everything in Java is an object. Object oriented means we organize our softwares as a combination of different types of objects so that it incorporates both data and its behavior. So this OOPS concept is a methodology that simplifies the software development cycle. So this OOPS concept is used for the software development and also maintains by providing some rules. So the basic concept of OOPS are class, object, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction and encapsulation. So we can discuss briefly about OOPS concept in the future classes. So let's get into the next feature of Java, which is platform independent. So Java is a platform independent because it is different from other languages like C, C++, which compiles into a platform specific machines, which means the codes are compiled to a particular platform only, whereas in Java it is write once and run anywhere language. So Java code can run on multiple platforms like Windows, OS, Mac, Linux, Sun, Solaris, etc. Java code is compiled by the compiler and converted into bytecode. This bytecode is a platform independent code because it can be run on multiple platforms. That is, write once, run anywhere language. And one more important feature is secured. So Java is best known for its security purpose. With Java we can develop virus-free systems Java is secure because it has no explicit pointers, because it has also removed the feature of pointer, because it is rarely used in the programming language. And Java programs runs inside a virtual machine here. So virtual machines, Java has a particular virtual machine which is JVM. Okay, class loader. So a class loader in Java is a part of Java runtime environment, which is used to load Java classes into the Java virtual machine, which is JVM, dynamically. So it adds security by separating the packages for the classes of the local file system from those packages that are imported from the network sources. So it just separates both the packages dynamically in order to provide security for both the packages. Bytecode verifier. So once after compiling, the Java code is converted into a bytecode. So it checks the code fragments for illegal code that can violate access rights to objects. Then security manager. It determines what resource a class can access, such as reading, writing to the local disk. So Java provides this security by default. So class loader has a particular Java virtual machine so that it can separate both the local packages and the packages which we got from network sources. Then bytecode verifier, which verifies the bytecodes in order to avoid the violation of access right to the objects. Then we have a security manager, which determines whether a class can access the local disk for reading or writing. The next feature is robust. So robust simply means strong. Okay, Java is robust because it uses strong management system. So it manages the memory strongly. So there is a lack of pointer that avoids security problems. So there is no explicit pointer. There is automatic garbage collection in Java, which runs on the JVM virtual machine to get rid of the objects which are not being used by the Java application anymore. Then there are exception handling and the type checking mechanism in Java. So all these points makes Java robust. Architectural neutral. Java is architecture neutral because there are no implementation dependent features. So implementation dependent features. So for example, the size of a primitive types is fixed in Java. Okay, but in C programming, int data type occupies 2 bytes of memory for 32-bit architecture and 4 bytes of memory for 64-bit architecture. However, it occupies 4 bytes of memory for both 32 and 64-bit architectures in Java. So Java is architecture neutral because there is no implementation of dependent features. So it doesn't depend whether it is a 64 or 32-bit architecture. And we also know Java is portable. It is write once and run anywhere language. So Java is portable because it facilitates you to carry the Java bytecode to any platform. It doesn't require any implementation. Multi-thread. This is one of the important concepts in Java. So a thread is like a separate program but gets executed concurrently. So simultaneously it gets executed. We can write Java programs that deals with many tasks at once by defining multiple threads. The main advantage of multiple threading is that it doesn't occupy memory for each thread. It shares a common memory. So multiple threads at a time, it performs different operations and it doesn't occupy memory for each threads. It has a common memory. Okay. Threads are important for multimedia and web application. So in web application we will perform multiple operation at a time. So multi-threading is a important feature for web app. So Java is a dynamic language. It supports dynamic loading of classes. It means classes are loaded on demand. It also supports functions from its native languages, that is C and C++. Java supports dynamic compilation and automatic memory management, that is garbage collections. So first, Java program. So in order to create a Java program, you need a class that contains a main method. So class simple. So the class name of a Java should have a first letter as a capital letter. So these are naming conventions. So we will look into the naming convention in the future classes. Okay. And a main method, which is public static void main with a square bracket of string arguments. Okay. Then a system.out.println, and I'm going to print hello Java. So in order to create a Java program, you need a class and a main method. So when we compile Java program using Java C, which is Java compiler tool, Java compiler converts the source code into a bytecode. So source code means human understandable code, whereas bytecode is machine understandable code. So the extension of Java code is .java. So the file name has to be same as that of the class name. So class simple has a file name simple.java. This simple.java is compiled using Java C tool. Then it gets converted into a bytecode, which is zeros and one, that can be understood only by the machines. So parameters used in first Java program. We had a class, which is a keyword is used to declare a class in Java. Okay. Then a public keyword is an access modifier, which represents visibility. It means it is visible to all. We had three more access modifier also. Okay. Then another keyword, which is static. If we declare any method as static, it is known as a static method. The core advantage of static method is that there is no need to create an object to invoke the static method. The main method is executed by the JVM, so it doesn't require to create any object to invoke the main method, so it saves memory. Then we have another keyword, void, which is a return type of a method. A void means it doesn't return any value. We have main method, so main represents the starting point of the program. Java is bottom to top approach, so it starts from the main method. Then we have string args is used for command line arguments. We also will learn about it later. Then we had system.out.println. This is used to print a statement. Here system is a class, out is the object of print stream class, then println is the method of a print stream class. So JVM, Java Virtual Machine, it's an abstract machine, and this JVM is not physically exist. It is a specification that provides a runtime environment in which Java bytecode can be executed. So JVMs are available for many hardware and software platforms. JVM, JRE, JDK are platforms dependent because the configuration of each OS is different for each other, whereas Java is platform independent. So the task which performed by JVMs are loads the code, verifies the code, executes the code, and provide a runtime environment. JRE, which is Java Runtime Environment. So Java Runtime Environment is a set of software tools which are used for developing Java applications. So it contains both JVM and some set of libraries and other files. JDK, which is Java Development Kit. The Java Development Kit is a software, and JRE and JDK are physically exist. Okay, except JVM, these two are physically exist. So JDK is a software development tool which is used to develop Java applications and applets. It contains both JRE and development tools. So JRE consists of JVM and some set of libraries, and development tools contains Java compilers and Java class loaders, etc. Java variables. A variable is a container which holds the value while the Java program is executed. A variable is assigned with a data type also. So Java has variables and data types. Variable is a name of a reserved area allocated in a memory. So there is some area which gets allocated in the memory by the Java program, and that memory gets a name so that it can be referred or retrieved. Okay, so in other words, it is a name of the memory location, and this variable, it is a combination of vari plus able. That means its value can be changed. So Java variables has some values that can be changed in the Java programs. So these Java variables gets assigned with the Java data type. Okay, there are different types of variables. Totally there are three types of variables in Java. One is local variable, the next one is instance, then static variable. A local variable means that variable has to be declared inside the body of a method, so that variable is called as local variable. If any variable is declared inside a method, that will be called as a local variable. You can use this variable only within that method, and the other methods in the class aren't even aware of the variable that is exists. And one more thing is, these local variables cannot be defined with a static keyword. The next variable is instance variable. So local variable has to be declared inside a method. Instance variable has to be declared outside the method, but it has to be inside the class. Okay, so a variable declared inside the class but outside the body of a method is called instance variable. This also has not to be declared using the static keyword. Okay, then the next variable is static variable. A variable which is declared as static is called static variable. Using the keyword static, this variable gets declared and it cannot be local. You can create a single copy of static variable and share among all the instances of the classes. And we also know memory allocation for static variable happens only once, when the class is loaded in the memory. Okay. These are the types of variables in Java. The next is data types. So every variable will have a data type. So this data type specifies the different size and values of that can be stored in the variables. So there are two types of data types in Java. One is primitive data type and another one is non-primitive data types. Okay, so these are primitive and non-primitive. So primitive has boolean and numeric, whereas non-primitive has string, array and interfaces, classes, etc. So let's see about the data types and the variables in the next classes. We can also have some practical classes regarding the data types in the next class.